Welcome back to Westwood Engineering. Today we're going to talk about some advanced part modifications, and this is the CSWA practice part. And if you're following along from some other place, you'll be able to find this part in our LMS if you go to my class. If you're not in my class, then you'll have to download the part. It's the CSWA practice part, question number 6. So a couple of things to note here. First of all is the drawing. We're taking a part that we have already made and we're going to modify it. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this pocket in it. In this pocket, it's kind of important to understand that it's not a symmetrical pocket. In other words, it's got different depths. So if you look through the drawings, you'll see that it's got a 1 millimeter shell that goes around the outside. And it also has a 1 millimeter depth shell that extends back 12 millimeters off of the back. So you see it's kind of this L-shaped pocket that's cut out. So we're going to do that with a series of 2 cuts. It's pretty straightforward. First thing I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and download the part from the previous exercise that I've uploaded into the LMS and open that. That'll help you all to start from the same place. So let's get that going. So here I've downloaded and I've opened up this part. It's called 2.2.4 sample. And we're going to make our cut on this face right here. Now, what we need to do is we need to do a sketch on that face. I'll go ahead and start this sketch. I'll start it by commanding an extruded cut because I know that's what I'm going to do. Now, what I really want to do is I want to gather the edges of this, but I want to offset them in 1 millimeter. So this tool right here, Offset Entities, is what you'll use. Click on that. Now, I can either select the individual lines as I work my way around, and you'll see in this instance it's set at 10 millimeters, which is crazy big. I can reverse the direction inside or out, and I'm going to make it 1 millimeter. Now you see it looks a little bit better. Now that's one way to pick these edges. I can go around and pick them and select or deselect. I can also choose an entire face if I so desire. So I don't really want that. So I'm going to go Offset Entities, 1 millimeter, and I'll just click on the face. Now you'll see it offset to the outside. I can reverse directions just by clicking. That's as hard as it gets. I have just made a fully defined sketch. And what that fully defined sketch will allow me to do is it'll allow me to cut a 1 millimeter lip around this outer edge. Now the first step of this cut is offset from the back surface where my cursor is flashing by 1 millimeter. So I'll go ahead and exit that sketch and move into my extruded cut. Instead of using a blind extruded cut, I want to go and offset from surface. Roll my part over, choose this back side of the pocket as my surface, and I want to offset from that 1 millimeter. Check it, be sure it looks correct. It does, and accept it. Done my very first cut. Now, we're going to do a similar cut to make the next part of the pocket. So this next part of the pocket is right here, and it goes all the way in deep up to 12 millimeters back from the back of the part. So let's go ahead and make that cut. So on this cut, what I need to do is I need to convert some entities. So I'm going to use these same lines right here, and I'm going to convert them. So I'm going to make a second cut. The sketch will be on the surface where I just cut. And now I'm going to do a combination. I'm going to convert the entities for the first part of this arc going around. So I've got these lines put in. Now the next line I need to do is I need to do an offset entity from this arc line. And I can roll the part over and click on Offset Entities and then choose that line. Now I want that offset to be 1 millimeter and I want it to be inside of the cut line. And that's exactly what that does. Now you're going to see when I do this that I get some extra lines here. So I'm going to go ahead and look straight down on my sketch, choose my trim entities, and trim away any excess material. Now you'll see, oops, just made a mistake here. Let me undo that. You'll see that I missed a line here. So I want to go ahead and convert that line also. Now I can trim away. And I get my closed body. So there's my cut. Exit this sketch, and now I'm going to cut this offset from a surface, choose my back surface, and I'm going to go 12 millimeters offset from that. Once I've got that cut, I'm now ready to evaluate my model. So you'll notice none of my other parameters changed. Everything else stayed the same from the prior part. So this is really a quick modification of the part. Come in here to go to Evaluate, Mass Properties, check my mass properties, and you ought to get exactly 432.58. I've got 3 digits, so I get 582. That's all there is to making this part. Thanks for watching.